order the regular township meeting for March 5th, 2025. Please bow your head for a moment of prayer. Please stand for the oath.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided indicating the time and place of the meeting in accordance with Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975 by advertising a notice in the Star Ledger and the Express Times and by posting a copy of the bulletin board in the municipal building. Roll call, Beth, please.
Councilman Del Caro.
Here.
Councilman Marinelli.
Here.
Councilman McQuaid.
Here.
Council President Polito.
Here.
Mayor Wright.
Here. Wade, would you summarize executive?
Yep, the Township Council met in executive session where it discussed the following privileged matters: contractual DPW, contractual sewer service agreement, litigation, affordable housing, New Jersey Builders Association challenge, contractual EMS agreement. Minutes from the executive session will be released at such time as the council deems no public harm will come from it and no official action was taken.
Okay, great, thank you. Okay, public comment, 3 minutes, talk about the agenda. Anyone?
Hello,
How you doing?
Pam Thomas, 6 Wordsworth Lane. I need to start by saying that anything I say here tonight is my own personal opinion. It has no way representative of the school board where I sit or any other organization that I volunteer for. So thank you. I'd like to speak to your ordinance 2025-04. And if I may, I printed off some papers. Can I pass those out?
Sure.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks. Give it to them, actually.
Sure.
So basically what I've just given to you all, and I'm not expecting that we're all going to sit here and read that because that's not going to fit in my timeline. But I wanted to give you this article that was written by Keith S. Bala. He's a partner at PKF O'Donnell Davies, which is an account for accountants and advisors. The article was titled Benefits and Pitfalls of Pilot Agreements for New Jersey Municipalities. Specifically, I'd like you to look at the second page, and it's the 4th bullet point down. So I'm just going to read that small section. That's one of the pitfalls. Developers, in an effort to increase their profits, will pitch municipalities that a pilot is needed when in fact the subject property is extremely valuable and maybe even one of the most lucrative developments sits in a community. In effect, abusing the intent and the spirit of the pilot legislation to further enrich the developer at the detriment of the municipality. And I think that just speaks to the point that I wanted to make, that I pointed out last month, is that this is a valuable piece of property. It sits right on Route 22. It's not like we're forcing, I know it's been sitting empty as a mall, but we're not forcing anybody to build there, and I think it's a desirable piece. And I don't know that it's in the best interest of Lopatcong. I know that this is a first reading tonight. I know that you've put time and money already into this, but I think if you look at the money in the long run, and maybe between this first reading and the second reading, where you have an opportunity to make other choices. If you read what I've given you today, I would like you to take that into consideration, that perhaps this does not need to be a pilot program. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, anyone else? Seeing none, we'll move on. Oh, I'm sorry. Come on. Apologize. Bruce, didn't see you.
Full house. I sat in the back. Kind of just quickly,
on the proposed cannabis ordinance. It seems to me that you seem poised to vote to approve the ordinance. I saw that we'll have the vote, and then consent agenda item 2 is a resolution that actually is in support of dispensary. So I really wanted to follow up on something. I had a private conversation, private, I mean, it was in public, but it was before the meeting with Council President Polito, who on more than one occasion I've commended to the council as an exemplary person. I see what he does with the senior citizens and the rent control, and that's further things, not to limit it to just that. I've been impressed, and you know, not to go behind anybody's back, but you know, it's a planning board meeting. He's council's liaison to planning board, on appointed member. And so before the meeting, I asked him, and he gave me a few minutes, and I'm just going to restate what I said. In the, if it turns out that you do pass this ordinance, and then, you know, there's a number of other steps that have to go before the planning board and then the council. I don't have a full statement, but I put this in caps: enacting proactive protection measures. As a resident, I take 22. As a retiree, I take it a lot less. But I've seen on more than one occasion, 2 exactly, and other people have confirmed this, tractor trailers in a situation where a mall doesn't exist yet, double park along Route 22 westbound, so that they can hop across all of the lanes to go to the fast food places that will still remain. And I suggest that with the location that they have for this ordinance, for this proposed dispensary, that I want us to do everything that we can to make sure that that doesn't happen. I understand the chief of police is very willing and able to do all of that. On another occasion, I addressed this council about the ability with the Wawa proposal to have the police get extra powers beyond their existing, help me out, Code 39 authorities. And I understood that the actual owner of the property, or the lessee of the property, has to come before the board and propose an ordinance. So, you know, I just want to be asking council to do everything that they can, because that's dangerous. I mean, you know.
I know what you're saying. I've seen it over there in Wawa as they go across and do the same thing. We'll put no parking signs up.
Yeah, it was beautiful at twilight. That seemed to nip that in the bud, so yes.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? All right, seeing none, we'll move on. Old business, number 1, minutes, approve executive and regular sessions of February 5th, 2025. Can I have a motion and a second, please?
Motion.
Second.
Roll call vote?
Yes. Councilman Belcaro?
Yes.
Councilman Marinelli?
Yes.
Councilman McQuaid?
Yes.
Council President Polito?
Yes.
Mayor Wright?
Yes. Number 2, ordinance 2025-01. Second reading and public hearing to establish a CAP bank. I get a motion and a second to hold a public hearing.
Motion for public hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Comments from the public about the CAP fund? Motion and second to close the public hearing.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Motion and second to adopt this ordinance.
Motion. Second.
Roll call vote, please.
Yes. Councilman Belcaro?
Yes.
Councilman Marinelli?
Yes.
Councilman McQuaid?
Yes.
Council President Polito?
Yes.
Mayor Wright?
Yes. Ordinance 2025-02. Second reading and public hearing, amend Chapter 219, the code entitled Trees. Have a motion and a second to hold a public hearing.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Comments from the public on that? Seeing none, motion second to close the public hearing.
Motion to close.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion and a second to adopt this ordinance.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Yes. Councilman Belcaro?
Yes.
Councilman Marinelli?
Yes.
Councilman McQuaid?
Yes.
Council President Polito?
Yes.
Mayor Wright?
Yes. Ordinance number 2025-03, second reading and public hearing to amend Chapter 243 zoning and land use, Article 13 general regulations to permit as a principal permitted use certain cannabis establishments in the designated zone districts and create Chapter 88 cannabis regulation. Have a motion and a second to hold a public hearing.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Comments from the public? Seeing none, motion and second to close the public hearing.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion and second to adopt this law. I'll make the motion.
Second.
And roll call vote.
Councilman Belcarro?
Yes.
Councilman Marinelli?
Yes.
Councilman McQuaid?
Yes.
Council President Polito?
Yes.
Mayor Ryan?
Yes. New business, resolution to approve application long-term tax exemption submitted by the Cubes at US 22 Sub 1 Urban Renewal LLC in connection with a redevelopment project on property designated as Block 102, lots 9.01 and 9.03. Have a motion and a second, please.
Motion.
I'll second it. Roll call vote?
Councilman Belcarro?
Yes.
Councilman Marinelli?
Yes.
Councilman McQuaid?
Yes.
Council President Polito?
Yes.
Mayor Ryan?
Yes. Resolution authorizing and approving the execution of a redevelopment agreement with the Cubes at US 22 Sub 1 Urban Renewal LLC in connection with a redevelopment project on the property designated at Block 102, lots 9.01 and 9.03. Motion and second, please.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call vote?
Yes. Councilman Belcarro?
Yes.
Councilman Marinelli?
Yes.
Councilman McQuaid?
Yes.
Council President Polito?
Yes.
Mayor Ryan?
Yes. Ordinance number 25-04, first reading authorizing and approving the application for a tax exemption in the execution and delivery of a financial agreement between the Township of Lopatcong and the Cubes at US 22 Sub 1 Urban Renewal LLC for a redevelopment project on property designated as Block 102, lots 9.01, 9.03, pursuant to the long-term tax exemption law. Motion is second, please.
Motion.
I'll second that. Roll call vote?
Yes. Councilman Belcarro?
Yes.
Councilman Marinelli?
Yes.
Councilman McQuaid?
Yes.
Council President Polito?
Yes.
Mayor Ryan?
Yes. Consent agenda, items 1 through 10. No one has a problem with that? Like a motion and a second, please?
Motion.
Second.
Roll call vote?
Yes. Councilman Belcarro?
Yes.
Councilman Marinelli?
Yes.
Councilman McQuaid?
Yes.
Council President Polito?
Yes.
Mayor Ryan?
Yes. Okay, council reports. Rich?
Mayor, at this time, I'd just like to mention that Councilman Belcarro and our sewer engineer, Dan Madden of JMT, and I attended Phillipsburg Sewer Committee meeting on February 26th. Just a couple bulleted items. Our current agreement with Peaburg expired at the end of '23. Peaburg's attorney indicated that they would begin negotiations shortly for new agreements with us and Greenwich. Alpha and Powhatan still have valid agreements. Rates were not specifically addressed, but general statements were made that they would go up. The meeting concluded with no specific action taken by the committee, and I'll refer to Councilman Belcarro for further comment on that.
Yeah, I just had two highlights, two bullet points. Number one, the agreement, the new agreement is in discussion. And the second one is they're also entertaining the idea of privatizing, which I'm concerned with. If they were to privatize, a new utility company that takes over, the prices would definitely increase much higher. And obviously, for profit. So I'm concerned with that. It doesn't benefit anyone, and it will cost everyone, all descendant districts, including Peaburg, much higher costs in the flow. At this point, we're close to maxed out as far as flow that we send to Peaburg. So that's an issue to develop in this town. Now, with the state mandate comes into play is that we have to meet another 10-year COA number, and that could be an issue because we don't have the capacity. Peaburg doesn't have the capacity, and we're at all descendant districts, we're almost at peak. So that's going to be interesting to see what happens in court. Besides that,
in order for that to happen, with the state that's mandating that, they believe we need to build another 86 low-cost housing under COA. We're disputing that. Our engineer believes it's somewhere, I think, 71. Okay, so now, having said that, number one, we're built out. That's number one. Number two, you have to have a developer to come in and build this. Now, for a developer to be feasible for them, to include 71 additional low-cost housing, they would have to build 400 homes to be feasible. And at the sewer meeting, we had this discussion, and there's no way that sewer plant can handle an additional 400 homes. That's just in Lopat. All our surrounding neighboring communities are under the same mandate. So we're in a dilemma, and, the state is. So it's going to be interesting as we move forward, what happens, if there's lawsuits. Also, as far as zoning wise, I don't believe we have any more areas that's zoned for residential. Between the warehouses and what's being built up and whatever's left over, that's going to be something that will be challenging for us all. So that's my report to today.
Thank you. Scott?
Nothing.
Recreation, the town Easter hunt is scheduled for April 12th with a rain date of April 19th. Music in the park, the bands are booked. So it starts, I believe, May 28th, Wednesday after Memorial Day. And the Earth Day town cleanup is going to be scheduled for April 26th. That's all for now, thank you.
All right, thank you. The only thing I have, myself and Councilman Marinelli met with Kim Brown today, our CFO, and we're on our last step to get the fire department their ladder truck. Funding is all set, everything's done. Now we just I got the price today, and hopefully by April 2nd, we'll be able to make that vote and get the temporary budget for that truck going and get that on its way. I know we have like a year and a half wait for it, so, but it'll stop the bleeding, also, so, but just want to let you know that. All right, that's all I have then. Engineers report?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Excuse me. So give the public an update on the consent agenda. This month, we had an approval to execute the initial survey and design phase for the Fox Farm Road Improvements Project. That's following on from the storm damage that was sustained in July of 2023. So we're working with FEMA on that. We'll be preparing survey documentation and coordinating with the DEP related to what permits we need to file to construct those improvements on Fox Farm Road. We also are requesting, and I believe we will be, to rebid the Sallyport project since those bids were rejected under the consent agenda. The bids were not favorable, certainly well above our estimate, even with our conservative contingency built into our estimates. So we'll be seeking bids for that project again, hopefully receiving more favorable bids as the construction season is beginning here. Next item, the pool demolition was awarded this evening, so we'll be working with the contractor now that we have a contract awarded for that work to get that work started, hopefully in the next month here, to get the old pool demolished. And then finally, it's been in the works because of the park improvement designs. There's some improvements being coordinated for the pickleball courts as well. So the pickleball court plans are currently being updated this week with the hope that we can break ground for the pickleball courts the first week of April is our target. Let's see what else I had. Yeah, I think I touched on everything. So that's all I have right now.
Great, beautiful, thank you. Police report, Chief?
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, Council. Yeah, I just have the traffic report to report for the month of February. Traffic stops for the month, we had a total of 273 stops, and 42% of those that were stopped were issued traffic citations. Out of those issued a traffic citation, 53% were overweight, were commercial vehicles, and we were able to dedicate an additional 50 hours of patrols towards this effort this month. Coming up in April, we should be able to dedicate an officer solely for the purpose of traffic enforcement, specifically targeting our overweight commercial vehicle problem in town. So I think things are going to pick up a little bit more in April and moving forward. That's my report.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, DPW, Brian?
Yeah, just give you an update. We're out doing our storm drains. By law, we have to do that once a year and clean them and go through everything. And Lou had asked me about street sweeping.
Right.
All right, as soon as I can put some water in there and keep it inside, I got to keep my trucks right now because I need them. All right, we'll be doing that also. All right. The Advent, just to give you an update on that, it worked real well. Very happy with it. Made life, it saved us actually about 2-3 hours worth of work doing the sidewalks, which is your overtime. All right, so that was beneficial all the way around. And we're getting ready to start working on the fields. And tomorrow, actually, what I'm doing is I'm going out. We're going to look at all the cages and everything else, and batting cages, and make sure what they need to go on and all that stuff. So spring is coming, and we'll be moving in that direction. So, okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Fire Chief's report. Chief?
Evening. So just to bring you up to speed, I was able to get January's numbers all tabulated, so it was pretty much not too bad. We had 20 fire calls in the month of January. Most of the calls were minor in nature, either unattended cooking, setting off smoke detectors, or alarm malfunctions. Unfortunately, February, last few weeks, I've been in the first week of March. Don't have those totals, but been very busy. We had one structure fire up at the park. It was a shed that was destroyed by fire. It was fully involved when we arrived on there to that location. It's up by the quad fields. We had a structure fire on Aurora Street. Fortunately, there's a recycling container on a cart that was made of plastic as well as a recycling container caught fire, set up the side of the house. Thankfully, it was made of stucco, so the fire didn't extend to the house. A little bit of extension. The key there was working smoke detectors in the home. Smoke got into the home, alerted the homeowner to the fire. He looked out the window, saw the side of the house on fire, called 911 immediately. So that was a good thing. We could start heading that way. He got his garden hose, started putting the fire out. We extinguished the rest of the fire when we got there. So that was a very close call for that family. Had a mulch fire over across the street from Warren Heights in a new development. Had to remind everyone in the audience to be aware of mulch. It is, it doesn't take much to get it going, especially over this past weekend. It was very dry. We have had a lot of rain, but it doesn't take much to dry out. Plus, as we all seen in the news lately, a lot of wildfires still. A lot of the underbrush is still very dry, even with all the weather, rain that we have had lately. You wouldn't think so, but that is the case. And we had a very close call just the other day over in Warren Heights. Had a dryer fire. Thankfully, the one sprinkler head was activated due to the heat from the fire in the closet. Kept the fire in check till we were able to arrive on scene. The officers arrived on scene as well, started to evacuate the building, tried getting in there, but it was a very heavy smoke condition. Emptied a couple of fire extinguishers also, but we were able to get a hand line in there and get that fire extinguished. So it's been very busy last 3 weeks in the department. I do appreciate going forward, though, as you mentioned with the ladder truck, it is something that the township does need, and it will definitely serve the township well. So thank you.
Chief, the structure fire at the quad, do we know how that originated?
It was incendiary. It was arson. There was no It was actually investigated by Sergeant LaFord, Fire Rescue Chief. You want to discuss that?
It's currently under investigation as an arson.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, EMS?
Good evening.
How you doing?
My name is Ray Russell, Lieutenant for Phillipsburg Emergency Squad. So far in Lopat, we have 223 jobs. 16 of those has been since March 1st and climbing. It's been a busy year. And that's all I have for you guys.
All right, thank you. All right, approval department reports. Motion and second, please.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Payment of bills. Motion and second.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call vote, please.
Councilman Belcarro?
Yes.
Councilman Marinelli?
Yes.
Councilman McQuaid?
Yes.
Council President Polito?
Yes.
Mayor Ryan?
Yes. All right, public comment. You have 3 minutes. Anyone? Yeah. Yeah.
Where are at the bottom of the tractor trailer, traffic flowing down, traffic from 80, we're the only first police department to do it. So I'm glad with the traffic reports, we've seen them really increase with the number of tickets that we've given them. It's still a work in progress. We saw a tractor trailer being driven on an overweight road as a trainee in a training tractor trailer. So it's kind of disturbing to know that they're not even informing their students where they can and can't drive. I guess I'm really I'm thrilled that you're going to be able to dedicate an officer plus 50 hours on patrol. I wonder, can we get, if we don't have the answer tonight, maybe get some feel for like being the only one that's doing it. This is not just a PITA, but we're actually benefiting financially from these tickets that are being written. I understand from previous conversations with Chief Garcia that these are no small change violations. These are hefty enough. It's not a cost of doing business for an individual tractor trailer, and so I don't know if you can, in a position to address that we're profiting, so to speak, from this ticketing, or if you want to address that at a later time.
Because it gets set up between the state, the county, and us, right?
Yes.
So we just get a portion of it.
Do you know how much we got?
I don't.
It's
Yeah.
minuscule, too.
Yeah.
It is minuscule.
Yes.
We do
Okay.
get a report in from the court administrator once a month.
Okay, all right, so I'm wondering, obviously, we're paying for being the last line of defense, the last line of patrol. I just hope that we're, at least if not profiting, breaking
I
even.
hope we are.
Yeah, we should hopefully do what we can do to not lose money on that
Well, our
necessary.
efforts are to prevent the vehicle. That's
Absolutely.
most important thing, right?
Yeah, well,
That's
that's
what
why,
we've been discussing for months and months.
yes, I agree,
So
and that's why I
That's
brought
the
up.
main thing.
Why I brought up the idea of the training facility. The training facility is right out of Phillipsburg on Howard Street, I believe it is. And, if you're training tractor trailers locally on these local roads, I don't know how good training's going to do. Ticketing is the thing to do. So I just hope we're not losing money on it.
Thank you.
As time goes on, I'm expecting, as we're going to have a full-time officer, specifically for, traffic control, expect those numbers to decline. So we'll see at the end of the year. I think that'll be a good barometer for us.
Yeah.
And we'll go from there.
I've seen the numbers go up with the traffic reports each month. It's great that, and it can only get better with the plus 50 hours with a
Well,
dedicated officer. And whether we're losing or making money, it's costing drivers money.
I think eventually, over time, the message will get out there. It's a work in progress,
Right,
and time will tell.
yeah, wow. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Anyone else? Seeing none, motion for adjournment?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you for coming out, everyone.